This is my big stack of 4 years of bullet journaling, and it doesn't even have the one that I'm using this year. So these are all the bullet journals that I've used in the last 4 years. I quit bullet journaling for 30 days and this is what I learned. Hello and welcome back to Save Ourselves, or if you're new here then hi. I am Aparna and on this channel we talk about self-help, bullet journaling, organization, productivity and much more. So if you're into that type of content, make sure that you subscribe before we move on with this video. 2023 is my 5th year of bullet journaling and I have developed the practice for a long time, and over the years I have really found my knack and have found the right way to practice bullet journaling. So in December 2022, I tried something that I never thought I would ever do, which is quit bullet journaling for 30 days. In this time period, I learned that there is something called too much bullet journaling, and I was able to step back, reflect, and get back at it with a fresh perspective. So here are the 5 lessons that I learned by quitting bullet journaling for 30 days. Let's get right into them. Lesson number 1 is that it is simply a tool. Now, when you've practiced bullet journaling for a long time, let's say for 4 years like me, then you begin to associate with it as if it is a part of yourself. It becomes a big part of your identity, and that certainly was the case with me. I began to view myself as a person who bullet journaled every single day, and it became a very integral part of my identity. I wasn't really able to see myself without it, or view myself as a whole complete person, as someone apart from bullet journaling. So it was a great lesson for me to realize that bullet journaling is simply a tool and it's a very small subset of my life, and it is not related or associated to my identity in any case, and I am a whole person with or without it. So that was a very important lesson for me to learn, which was related to identity, and that it's simply a tool that I can use to benefit my life. Lesson number 2 is that you don't have to document everything all the time. Now, I am someone who loves adding trackers, blogs to my bullet journal, and I love tracking my habits and charting my progress and seeing how consistent I have been with them. And in the past, it has really helped me to build consistent habits and form new routines, and obviously it does more good than it does harm. But something that I've learned from my therapist is that once your brain starts to get acquainted or used to certain things, its utility is lowered over time. So for example, when I first started my gratitude log, it really helped me shape my outlook towards life, and it gave me a more positive outlook, and it really helped me become more optimistic. But now that I've practiced it for over a year, I realize that the impact that it has on me now is much less compared to when I first started out. So the big realization that came with it was that I don't have to document everything all the time. I can step away from my trackers every few months and just reset my brain and let it not get used to that habit, so that when I start again, I will be able to reap the benefits from scratch. So now I'm going to practice this with my gratitude log. I've stepped back from my daily gratitude practice and I'm pausing it, and I'm going to start anew, and that video is going to come out next week, so stay tuned for that. Lesson number 3 is that you can tweak the practice as per your needs. So for example, I have developed this complex system that works perfectly fine for me over the course of these years. I started adding more trackers and more spreads along the way that I found to be useful, and thus came about this beautiful system that really works well for me. However, it really works when I'm thriving or when I'm in this productive season in my life, trying to manage it all and trying to get it all done. That's when it works perfectly fine. However, I had not accounted for the lower, more restful seasons of my life when I'm not really feeling up to it and need a little more time and have a lot less energy. So because of this, that sort of practice just did not really work out in these seasons of my life, and that's when I actually had to step away from bullet journaling for 30 days. And I have realized that I don't need to be so rigid and regimental with my practice. I can tweak it as per the ebbs and flows of life and according to the energy and the productivity that I'm looking for in that season. Lesson number 4 is flexibility is the key to longevity. Now, change is the only constant, is the lesson that I'm constantly reminded of in life, and we have to adapt, we have to accommodate in order to survive and in order to thrive. So, this is the lesson that I've learned in terms of bullet journaling as well. Over the years, like I said, because I built this custom system for myself, I had a set of spreads that I would do every month. So it went like I would have a cover page, then I would have a page for the monthly goals and affirmations, which was followed by a monthly calendar. Then came the daily gratitude log, and that was followed by all of my health and habit related trackers, and then I would move on to my weekly spreads. Now, this was a perfectly good system for me, and I implemented over and over again for a long time, and that really worked. But because of this break, I was able to step back from it and gain a fresher perspective, and now I'm trying not to be so rigid with it and trying to be more flexible, where I can swap out the spreads and be more spontaneous or add or subtract as per my liking and as per the goals that I have for that month, maybe, or whatever my month is going to look like. I can tailor my spreads according to that. So I'm learning to be more flexible with my bullet journaling system and trying to adapt and accommodate. Because ultimately I want to practice this for my whole life, and because it's a system for a lifetime, it only makes sense if I'm able to sustain it in a way that is healthy for me, and I'll only be able to do that by being a little more flexible with my system. Lesson number 5 is that taking breaks from bullet journaling is also quite healthy. Now, to get into bullet journaling, you have to be pretty consistent with it, because it's ultimately a practice that involves your entire life, and you plan, and there are a lot of spreads. And like every other habit, consistency is the key for you to develop this system for yourself. And because of that, I was pretty harsh on myself if I missed on in any days or so. And for the past 4 years, I've barely skipped a week, maybe at the most. And apart from that, I would use the system almost daily, and I would never skip out a monthly setup or anything like that. And I was very harsh on myself if I did. So I didn't really allow myself to step back from it or take breaks from it. And ironically, I'm a big proponent for taking breaks, regular breaks from every aspect of your life, because I think it keeps your relationship with that aspect much healthier, and it develops some more healthy attitude towards that aspect of your life. But I had never actually applied this principle to bullet journaling, and because of this 30-day break, I was able to identify myself without that practice and also get some distance from it, which also helped me get a much better perspective. And now I'll be able to be more compassionate with myself whenever I need to take a little bit of a break or I need to step away from the system. And I also plan to take regular breaks from the system, because then I'll be able to come back to it with a more inspired and new perspective. It's really funny how all of these small things in life teach us all the big lessons, and I really have a lot to say about bullet journaling. I could probably make 20 more videos about it, and if you're not new to this channel, you might have seen a bunch of videos already, and I am a big ambassador of the bullet journaling system, and I would highly recommend you to try it out if you haven't. And if you already do practice bullet journaling, then I guess that this video might be helpful for you in case you need to take a break, or in case it's not really working out for you anymore. Taking a pause or taking a break from it might really help you out in that sense. So I hope that you had some kind of takeaway from this video, whether you bullet journal or not. And this, I think, can be applied to all of the aspects that involve taking break from a certain kind of practice. So I'll be back with more videos next week, and if you liked it, give this video a thumbs up. It really helps with the algorithm, and let me know your feedback in the comments down below. And if you haven't subscribed already, please consider subscribing to this channel, and I'll see you next week. Bye bye.